fans around the world have waited for.
We will allow you to enjoy all of this. They are dancing in the pubs of Dublin. Harrington with an ace.
And we have a shining star at sunset. Rory continues his run to greatness.
The return to glory.
Happy Lauren.
Time whenever you're ready. Didn't hear that. Hello and welcome to the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship here at Headfort Golf Club. Michael, it's a blustery day here in Meath. But it's dry.
It's a bloody day, but it's dry, so I think not too bad as in the scoring to win.
Yes, so we're going to do a quick recap as to what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be joining the final group, the leaders group, for their last 9 holes. So as it stands, the second to last group are just coming up to the 9th green over there behind us. That is made up of, if I just quickly check the leaderboard, final group is made up of Karis Warby, Louise Landgraf and Kira Saint Laurent. This second to last group is Lily Routier of France as well, Rebecca Gardner and Olivia Costello. They're the two best of the Irish. They're about 7 or 8 shots off the lead, to be honest.
Yeah, a little bit back now. As if we're looking at who's going to be kind of the home, there's going to be home 10 winner if you for the back, but a complete international kind of top 4 as well.
Yeah, so the leader is, actually as it stands, we got 2 tied for the lead at 7 under par. Louise Landgraf and Karis Warby of Wales are at 7 under par, and then third place, just the 8 shots back at 1 over par, Lily Routier. So it's definitely a 2-horse race.
Yeah, it's kind of this well thing at the very top, but they've kind of shared the lead as well, kind of past it a while, especially kind of maybe 4 or 5 holes ago. There's a big change, so it's quite tight to the two of them, nearly a match pace sort of thing. So that intensity will kick on into the back now.
Yeah, and so this is also the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Championship. But the reason that there are a lot of international and European players in particular at this competition, on top of it being Ireland's, one of Ireland's biggest women's amateur championships, is it carries a lot of junior Ryder Cup points. I'm sorry. So someone who does well here, if they've got a good season, they could be playing in the Junior Ryder Cup, which is like the day or two before the Ryder Cup in Bethpage this year. So Sean Keeling played in the last one in Rome. So this is a competition that carries a lot for these younger players like Louise Landgraf. She's 16, so for her in particular, this one carries a lot.
Yeah, she's played in junior Solheim as well before. She's played in that type of stuff before. I think it's, you say, the show, that sort of experience of being that team golf is at that age is pretty incredible.
Yeah, so as you can see there over our shoulder, the second last group, which is Olivia Costello, who is on the, I think she's on the left, no, she's in the pink. Rebecca Gardner there is on the left in the white top. And then they are joined by, they're joined by Lily Routier of Golf Club de Toulouse. Both her and Louise Landgraf are both from Golf Club de Toulouse. Louise actually though lives in Thailand for most of the year, which is interesting.
I think her mum is Thai, that's French. That's where the connection comes from. She's doing that kind of back and forth with there, so that's where the connection comes in.
How's your French?
Bonjour is very Thai, so yeah, but I'll leave that to you.
My Thai is
better, so I don't think I use that either.
Yeah. My Thai wouldn't be fantastic. My French isn't much better now after leaving school. The classic secondary level education is that you do the language for a couple of years. In my case, I did it for years, like as a kid, and then second you leaving cert, you're just like, out the window.
Came back for a fresh national, to be fair. When the Ryder Cup day, you did a little bit of French. Yeah, literally. We've kind of, your kind of thoughts on the golf course so far. You've been here yesterday, kind of a little walk around. It's classic parkland, isn't it? Big trees, water coming in really and a lot of holes, big kind of bunkers. What's been your take on the course so far since you've seen it?
So I've never played it before. Before we did the recce, the technical location visit for this course, I'd never even been on site. Really, really nice. And you're dead right. Classic Parkland Championship golf course. It's hosted a couple of very good competitions, like the Irish Challenge was hosted a couple of years ago. It's tree lined without being narrow. Now, that being said, like 11 holes, par 3. That's like as narrow as a school hallway. It's a very narrow par 3. But that's the only one that's really a little claustrophobic. But I'm sure you can see it like, over there. Like there's plenty of clearings, big greens, really, really big greens. But I think the thing with that is, if you hit a green in regulation, that doesn't mean by any chance that you're in for a 2-putt.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of undulations and a couple of tiers on each of these greens. Like you can see here on the 18th green. Like, so you guys can see. You'll see later on. The 18th green over there, pins tucked at the very, very back. Yesterday it was at that middle tier. The back tier is like they're like steps basically. It's like one lower tier at the front, middle tier, and then an upper tier at the back green. Yesterday the flags were in the middle of the green. The groups that I was following all hit it to the front of the green, thinking that they hit good shots, and they all had very slow, long uphill putts. And
it's about hitting the right on that green to not give yourself a really, really tough putt.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then bunkers here are big.
That's what I would try. That's the thing I know. It's very deep bunkers, and definitely a penalty shot or something you play in course. These are quite deep. As well, but I mean, even looking at, if you can just see your shoulders, the 18th, a lot of you're finding your approach shot has to go over a good bit of water, and that happens.
Yeah, 9 there. Yeah.
Sorry, 9 happens, but that happens on the first as well. There's a couple where you have to drop short, the respect the water. Even on the 10th, when you get over the 10th, you'll see water there as well. So, I'm not a bad architect, to be fair.
No, it was what, Chris
Connor Jr. is the architect. So like it's there. But it's a classic parkland, and I know people hate that hidden gem sort of thing. But anytime I would tell people that would be in Headfort, anyone who's played it said it was unbelievable, like an absolute treat to play. And what free putt finish from Dublin as well.
Yeah, it's a long golf course. It's a long track. They're obviously playing off of a combination of the yellow and red tees for the championship today, and this week. But like even so we're standing on the tips somewhere place that we really have no business actually ever standing if we're actually playing around a golf.
Yeah, that's fair. But I completely like a very tough dog leg on the those classic park ones where too far you're in trees, too short you're in water, too left you're in the bushes, too right you're in trees, and I think that's the beauty of the 10th hole is knowing your yardage, how to put yourself in to give yourself a second shot. And we've kind of been here on the 10th tee for a little while. We're just trying to cut corners and end up with a little spot bother in those trees, and it I don't know, but you kind of strikes me like alone sometimes where you could hit a shot, but actually you think it's okay to get up there and you're blocked out from trees and angles.
So what you can see there behind us, the final group are making their approach into the 9th green, which is great. Yes, it absolutely is it's a tricky driving golf course because, like you're saying, you hit the fairway. Yeah, you might be in a little bit blocked out, particularly with the approach shots to these greens, particularly in this middle part of the golf course, which is like on an island.
Yeah.
The green, the whole narrow up toward the green. So like you could be on the right, you could be on the fairway, but you could be on the wrong side of the fairway because the tree cuts in and blocks you out a little bit.
Definitely, yeah. Just interesting. The wind is a little bit more than it was earlier, so I'm wondering if the weather's going to be a factor today. Not meant to rain. Yeah. Yesterday they got a lot of bad rain weather, and it did affect them. I think a few of the girls were even saying that a couple of them were the first time playing in Ireland, and they felt that it was a real Irish conditions.
Yeah. And it was like a constant, very, very strong wind yesterday. That the few of the players that I spoke to, they found that the wind, more so than anything, really caused a lot of havoc for those players, because it was this case of like a lot of them hadn't played in this level of wind. On top of it, already been a very long golf course. So they became a bit of a war of attrition. We saw that the cut line was plus 22. So that gives you an insight as to how tough this is.
Yeah, and I think with this, as this is a parkland, once this gets wet, you're not getting much run, you're not getting much carry. The ball's kind of sitting in its setting, and it's kind of sitting even in the fairway, and the rough is actually okay, but it's very lush, it's very soft, and I think that's just going to make the course play even longer, especially with some of that rain yesterday, which was torrential, to be fair, and some of the parts of rain. So the course seems to be okay though. It seems very playable.
Yeah. When it comes to the fairways as well, they're nice and generous. So yeah, they are lush and they are like the rough isn't terrible, but they are pretty wide. So it's a tough old track, and I think as you hear the wind coming in now more, I'm just watching the final group coming in, and like the wind I think will play a factor now. It's only meant to get windier as the day goes on.
This final group, what's you're thinking there? It's neck and neck, it's tight. What do is it going to be kind of match play? Even though obviously this tournament is supposed to be a stroke play tournament, but now the two of them in there, is it going to be tight? Is it going to be who's hitting it first? Who's going to see putting first? I mean, I watched the golf last night with Tommy Fleetwood. I think it got to show changing clubs hitting first can not be the play, which was obvious for him. But with the kind of two girls out in front now, what you're thinking?
Yeah, so it continues to be a two-horse race, although Kira Saint Laurent has made a birdie to get to even par. She's only 2 over for the day. She's still 7 shots back between by Louise Landgraf.
Do we think that's too far back?
7 shots.
Yeah, in 9 holes.
At this point.
I think that's what.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like a miracle. I like a miracle story.
It would be so miracle. I couldn't really pick it between the two of them. From who I was following over the couple of days, Louise Landgraf is a very deliberate player. You could maybe say she's on the slower side of things.
Okay.
I would. I kind of did. Karis Warby is. She's fast. She's a very fast player.
College golfer.
She's in college over in the
She's
States.
not going to graduate until next year.
No. So it's two very different paces. I'd say two very different styles of play. I think Karis can hit a pretty long golf ball.
Okay. So she's playing American golf, and we got a more classic European player.
Yeah, it's two very different styles of golf going ahead.
Karis is Welsh. We're saying she's American, but she's American. But it's like Sarah Byrne, and when you go to America, you have to start playing that type of golf to get over there, to survive there as well. So I think it's going to be really interesting with the two of them and how this battle's going to win. I think they probably know now it's just the two of them in there, and they probably know that by the feeling. Will it be JJ Spawn Rory thing where you're checking what they're hitting, keeping track of? Where she's like, especially on this 10th hole, and they get in here. I mean, we've seen hybrids, we've seen 5 irons, we've seen drivers, and we've seen 3 wood, 7 wood hitting, and then we've been here for probably the last hour. So interesting to see now what the choice is. I think with the two of them neck and neck, I'm looking forward to seeing how this battle goes about.
Yep, it'll be very interesting. And just to say that all of our coverage on the Bogeymen and today's live broadcast coverage is brought to you by AFG. They've been a proud partner of Golf Ireland and Golf in Ireland for over 25 years, and they've been a partner of ours for the 2nd year of the partnership. And without them, none of these live broadcasts would be able to happen. So we're very, very grateful to them and everything that they do for amateur golf in Ireland. And in amateur golf in Ireland, speaking of, it's in a very healthy position. Like we're even talking about some players that have recently turned professional, like Lauren Walsh in the last couple of years. Obviously a stellar amateur career, went over to college in the States, went to Wake Forest, did brilliant things there, won national championships. Sarah Byrne doing great now on LET as well. Like Lauren, just another top 10 finish there last week, with on top of a top 7 the week before that. I was actually talking to her. Sorry, I was just talking to her a couple of weeks ago for a shoot with Golf Ireland, and like not to pile any more pressure on her, but I was like, you're getting to the point now where like the only thing left for you to do is to win, and that shows that just how good a place Irish amateur golf is in.
Yeah, and I think you said even like you've got a couple of ones there, like Sarah testing her level and coming up with. There's also another group of girls that coming to look to maybe turn pro as well, who are completely from that have been through this tournament maybe for a couple of years or whatever.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, because we've got 2 international players now vying for this championship, how different they'll find it, and how the Irish will kind of, if they will, mount any kind of challenge to the back 9.
It's a pretty big couple of weeks for women's golf as well. The Irish Open, Women's Irish Open is on as well. So I think this is feeding straight into that for a good couple of weeks of our women's Irish golf. And it's not so maybe the last 2-3 years with people becoming more noticeable, more fans, more shooting in.
Players are making their way over now behind us. So we're going to get into position over here, and we will get ready to begin live coverage. What we'll do is so we're going to head on up. We'll take a quick ad break after the players hit their tee shots here, but yeah.
Swirl a little bit, so it's going to probably change now. It's kind of hard to know where that Johnny. It's kind of starting to swirl around a little bit.
Looks a little bit like it's helping off the left hand side. So this 10th hole, dog leg left, par 4. Measuring out at about 342 meters. This is the stroke index 1. So toughest hole on the golf course, dog leg right, but we're playing off the forward tees today. And so we're going to take a quick ad break, and we will be joining you live on the golf course here at Headfort Golf Club with championship coverage from the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open. We'll be back after this.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeyman is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super low battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs.
It's grand.
Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
Buy online at aig.ie. It's got to be AIG.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
So Karis Warby has just punched out there from the trees on the right hand side, progressing the ball nicely up. She was so that golf ball
Pitch out Johnny just from the trees. Get into the fairway now. So
yeah, she was just against the golf ball. Unfortunately, that ball just got caught up in the trees on the right hand side. So now, next to play, Saint Laurent, middle of the fairway. The flag is on the back of the green again. Middle of the green, straight at the back. Balls away. Yeah, just right inside the green. About pin high, not too bad at all.
Yeah, I'm on Christian.
So now is Louise Landgraf.
Still on you, Christian.
A great drive from Louise, has to be said. Very smooth action here. Left hand side of the pin, going straight at it to maybe just drop down, but I think that's a couple of feet. Now here is Karis Warby. Michael, what's Karis got?
and ball just below her feet for this wedge shot, so probably didn't get enough on fairway. Just right, it's gone right of the pin.
Not great.
Exactly if she want to play that, but she's on the green and she has to putt.
Yeah, not the outcome she would have wanted realistically from that position. There was nothing really in her way. She was in the rough, so maybe the ball got snagged, or the club got snagged a little bit, but she's now got the longest of all three shots. So 2 birdie putts coming up for Kira Saint Laurent and for Louise Landgraf. I'm getting that little French accent. Can you hear that there, Michael? It's gone a little bit Laurent. So as you can see, this is a very, very tree-lined section of the golf course. So the 11th hole is a very narrow par 3, which I think unfortunately we're just going to skip ahead of, because it's coverage-wise, it wouldn't work out necessarily from our side. So we'll go ahead to the 12th tee box, and we'll get the second last and third last groups as they're hitting off and teeing off on the 12th, and then we will rejoin our leaders in our final group.
To that upper slopes So, slips by. Sarah's just a little short.
Okay, so there we go. The group has finished the 10th hole here at the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship. Actually, sorry, we just have Karis Warby left to finish out for her bogey putt. And she does. So Karis has just tapped in for her bogey putt. So we're going to take a quick ad break and we're going to nip ahead to the 12th hole. We'll be rejoined by the leaders after this.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super low battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs.
It's grand.
Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
When you buy online at AIG.ie, it's got to be AIG.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance. Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super low battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs. It's grand. Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
Buy online at aig.ie. It's got to be AIG.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
Look at that. Thank you guys for bearing with us. We knew that was going to be a little problematic.
A lot of trees and a lot of forest to get around, so everything got cut there. But we're back.
Yeah. And then the good and the bad thing about how popular amateur golf is in Ireland is there's loads of people. So we're trying to like weave in and around people. Be like, sorry, we gotta get to the 12th, and they're like, but the leaders are on 11. We're like, no, we know, but we gotta get ahead. So
big camera's a bit of a giveaway. We need to get this through.
We just need like a big van that's like we're Anyway, we're here now. We're waiting for the second to last group. So we're going to catch Rebecca Gardner, Olivia Costello, and Lily Routier teeing off here on 12. So we'll catch that, and you'll actually probably even see their second shots on the 12th fairway, and then we'll be rejoined by the leaders on the final group again.
Little bit of a swing on that 9th hole.
I know, yeah.
To be fair, which is surprising.
10th hole, a lot of action there.
Sorry, 10th hole, yeah. So I mean, tough hole with the dog leg leaves you with a kind of blind approach, but. Yeah, like I think with Karis having to kind of pitch out of the trees, then her approach was okay. Left herself with a bit of a long putt, which then ends up being 2 putt, which obviously not ideal. 2 putt, 3 putt,
and a particularly big swing because obviously Louise made her birdie putt there. Karis makes bogey, so it's a two shot differential now. After the 10th hole, Louise Landgraf 8 under par, and Karis Warby 6 under par. Really shows the importance, like we were saying, of positive strokes off the tee.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. I think
she
Louise
blocked
went
a little bit, which is a pity.
Yeah, she did. But and then put herself in a little bit of trouble. But then again, you look at Louise went with the driver, blew it over everything. Obviously, put herself in the middle of the fairway. It's a great shot. But having said that, then gives her a little flick wedge into the right angle. So
and we can actually see, and we're going to go join this action here now. Olivia Costello, Lily Routier, and Rebecca Gardner are just making their way over to the 12th tee box. So pretty much straight downwind. Great shot, lovely draw right down the middle of the fairway. Really, really nice. Olivia Costello pushed that one out to the right a little bit toward that tree. Didn't quite see it drop down, but that tree is probably in play. So she might have clipped that tree. Here's Rebecca Gardner now. Rebecca Gardner 5 over for her round, 5 over for her championship. Not quite as far as I was actually going further right than Olivia, so she's right of that tree. Okay, so you're gonna go on my right, are you? Yeah, still a learning process. We've been doing this a while, but it's still a learning.
That's it.
So a couple of interesting tee shots there, pushed out to the right hand side by both Olivia and Rebecca. They're both tied for the championship. They're both 5 of par, so they're like 12-ish shots away from the leader.
Yeah, like I think, and even kind of looking at this tee shot, I mean, you have to kind of go right to give yourself an angle into the green. That's really important, but you don't want to push it too far because then you're dicing with water other than the right hand side, and then even be blocked out by that big tree. I think they probably. Maybe not quite blocked out, but it makes for an awkward second.
Sure. And it's like we were saying, it all narrows up in a big way in the approach to these greens. You can see here, this isn't the longest of holes. I'm just going to quick look at it. It's 218 meters long from
40 yards. 240 yards across to the green.
So that tree on the right hand side we saw from both of them is very much in play. So they've only got like a flick wedge really to get past that tree, but you'll be able to see it as you get up there. Water comes into play, cuts into the front and the right of the green. There's that tree there on the left hand side, just from the tee box, just visually intimidating. You know? So it's you get your tee shots away, you'll be in a pretty good spot here. But best of the Irish we know is Anna Dawson is 2 over for the championship. She's one of the few players that's actually under par today. But again, it's a little bit too far away, really, isn't it?
I think it's probably too far away, especially with now birdies being made and the two front playing well and hitting good shots. So if weather changes, maybe, but I think it is a bit too far back, like we said at the start of the program.
For sure. So I think what we might do is we have a highlights package, a recap as to how we got to the position that we are in today and kind of where the Irish sit and how Louise Landgraf got to be. I was going to say tied for the lead, but has the lead on her own. So here's a quick recap video for you. French teenager Louise Landgraf shot a second consecutive 69 as she takes a one-shot lead into the final day of the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship at Headfort Golf Club. The 16-year-old had only 7 pars on her card today, but she matched that with 7 birdies and it was enough for a 600 par total after 2 days of action in Kells.
Yeah, not bad. The weather has been very nice up until today. We got to experience the real Irish weather, so it was nice. I handled my game pretty well out there. Yeah, the course is playing really nicely, and obviously the weather came into play, so a bit of a rocky start, but I managed to come back after that. All the hard work has been paying off. Obviously, there's been a couple unlucky months, and the past couple months have been struggling a bit, so to finally have this breakthrough it's really nice. I mean, it would mean a lot. It's my first time playing in Ireland, so it's definitely nice to take that off the box. So hopefully tomorrow I'll just play my own game and just have fun.
Welsh golfer Caris Warby of Newport Links is just one shot in arrears with two more French golfers, Kira Saint-Laurent of Biarritz-le-Far and Langras fellow Golf Club de Toulouse golfer Lily Ritier making up the top four. Rebecca Gardner of Clondeboy is the best of the Irish after she posted a second round 71 to follow her opening 73 on Saturday. Gardner, who reached the last 32 of the women's amateur in Nairn recently, is 6 shots off the lead heading into the final day, with birdies on 15 and 16 keeping her hopes alive.
Yeah, definitely very happy. The conditions were a lot tougher today, and I managed to stay disciplined. Didn't get off to the best start, but hung in it, and yeah, made a few birdies coming in, which was nice. I think it's just all about having the mindset of just staying disciplined. It's the same for everybody. The conditions are tough. So just kind of taking one shot at a time and sticking to my game and routine. Yeah, definitely. I think 14, I held a really good par putt as well. So that gave me a lot of momentum, and it was nice to pick up those couple of birdies, made a few good putts, which was nice. Yeah, it would be really nice. I've been playing well these past couple of months and kind of working hard, so to get this, to do well in this would be nice. Lots of good players, so yeah, it would be really cool.
Olivia Costello will also have a chance of mounting a challenge tomorrow after a 74 today, which leaves her at +2 and then tied for 6th, alongside US challenger Carolyn Fuller. Gardner and Costello will hope to push on during their front nines tomorrow, while the likes of Molly O'Hara, also of Clondeboy, and Hannah Lee McNamara of Royal Portrush are back on 3 over par. Plenty of action awaits as the final day of the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship at Headfort Golf Club begins on Monday morning. Okay, and so the leaders, we couldn't have timed that any better. Look at us, we're learning here. The final group are making their way up to the tee box here in the 12th hole. Leading the way is Caris Warby of Newport Links, followed by Kira Saint-Laurent, and just crossing the bridge there is Louise Landgraf. So we'll see if we can get an update on scores. There we go, we have an update on scores straight away. They're on it. Great to see.
They're better than men. I'm gonna call the men out now because they're on the ball. Their scores for men, you're waiting 4, maybe 5 holes. Yeah. I'm calling the lads out. They need to be better, or at least get some to do it. Who's in the group with someone's dad and someone's following.
Exactly. So all tied at the top again. Both players 7 under par. So a great bounce back birdie by Caris Warby there. Louise Landgraf just dropping a shot, but
so yeah, really neck and neck between the two of them.
That's a great shot. Little fade down the right hand side of the fairway. Kira getting a lot of love from the fans.
A lot of applause and a lot of cheers. It's now Louise Landgraf.
Louise now driver in hand. Also down right hand side of the fairway. Very nice. So we're going to follow this group as they are making their way onto 12th fairway. And
kind of the play. I mean, it's a tough shot, as Johnny said, kind of narrows down into the middle, and you can possibly see it soon onto the camera where the lawn has been cut. You can see it really bottlenecks in, and you got a dice with this big tree on the right, but literally the girls hit big drives to put it left of the tree and give themselves a really good approach in to the green. Kind of difference with the group was before, where they were hitting it too wide. They were hitting it kind of too wide in around that tree, but they've avoided that completely. And okay, yeah, middle of the fairway is a perfect shot, but it's bottleneck of the fairway kind of comes in nice and narrow. 3 balls, Johnny. So a little bit of match play stuff is who's going to play first and who's going to put the nerves on to their opponent. So it's
so yes, Ciara St. Laurent is going to be first to play, but we're going to wait for this final group, or second to last group, play off in front of them.
for
Ciara St. Laurent. We can see there Rebecca Gardner on the green, just her putt sliding by, so she taps in. Olivia Costello in the pink on the green. This final group is just waiting to play, but Olivia Costello gonna hopefully tap in. It's an interesting dynamic having the leaders so far ahead of the second to last group. Like you're talking about a nine shot gap between tied for first place and third place. But Olivia Costello finishes out there, and that means that Ciara St. Vincent is going to be first to play here. So a tricky pin position. It's back of the green, but as you can probably see, back of the green also means there's plenty of water, so you're going to come up short. But it's a question of not play it. It's a great shot. There you go. It wasn't difficult at all. I was just talking about how tough that shot is and stitches it. So Karis Warby is second to play here in this match play situation. These two have hit the golf ball to within feet of each other. Karis coming up shy on that lower tier front of the green. She won't be too pleased with that. Okay, so you got to say advantage here to Louise Landgraf. She knows what she needs to do. Very good, and again, another aggressive play. It's just rolled off to the back of the green there, just held up by the fringe. There's a back bunker there that is holding on to the golf ball.
Bunker be coming to play for a couple. Cass probably annoyed she's come up, but it is on the putting green. She's got putter in hand. You know, it mightn't be the end of the world uphill putt. You know, probably a two putt from there. Especially well.
Like the amount of wind is coming in, it's coming right across her as well. A little offsettling or unsettling, but that's just crested over the top of the hill and leaving herself about 4 foot there. So a couple of par putts coming up for our leaders. It's as far from over, but how nice does it look with the lake there behind the green? Lovely. So it's still Karis Warby of Newport Links who is away. So her par attempt, we'll call it 5 foot. Looks like it's going. Yeah, I have that as well. And she drops a clutch, and she needed that realistically after bogeying on 10, making birdie on 11. Steady the ship, make your par, and let's just reset, continue from there.
For her own attempt.
Yeah, Kira St. Vincent makes her birdie putt.
Raise around the green. Not too much in this, but overhit it.
Yeah, Kira St. Vincent there moves to 1 over par. She's in 3rd place all on her own. Still 8 shots back of our leaders here. So interesting that she's getting some serious applause from the spectators. There must be a, I don't know, dedicated Kira fan group going on. So the 13th hole here at Headfort Golf Club is a par 4, 290 meters from the tee boxes that the women are playing off of today. 290 meters, tough hole. And it's a continuous kind of uphill. You can see there, bunker on the left hand, 2 bunkers on the left hand side, 2 bunkers on the right hand side. A little further up, the road or path that cuts through the middle of the fairway. The 2 bunkers on the left hand side and the path are really kind of in their driving distance, about 203 meters up into the wind as well. So challenging of hole without being overly difficult. Great drive right down the middle of Kira Vincent, and comes up about 4 yards short of that path. Couldn't have placed it in a better position, really. That pin is, again, back middle of the green. You can see in the distance possibly there's a big bunker, a big fall off to the left hand side. So the bailout area and the approach shots is going to be to the right. Try and give players an easy chip up to get up and down for par. Karis Warby there. Again, great drive. And about 3 or 4 feet, maybe a yard short of that path. Great drive there by Karis Warby. And Louise Landgraf also sends hers sailing down the middle of the fairway. And that just comes up shy of the path as well. So we're going to take a quick ad break and we'll be back to you with live on-course action here from the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship at Headfort Golf Club.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super long battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs. It's grand. Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
Beautiful yet blustery Headfort Golf Club. We are just waiting for the second to last group to finish up on the 13th green here as our leaders in the final group wait patiently on the fairway. 3 fantastic drives. I have to say the calibre of golf that we've seen obviously just across a couple of holes so far has been phenomenal. Really, really good golf.
Just kind of in prime position before this pass. Probably got about 160 yards in the middle of the green for Kira. Possibly just 8-9 iron in.
Interesting one. Kira's always been the first to play into each of these, which is giving both players a little bit of insight as to what's happening. But then the battle off the tee between the players has been very interesting as well. Obviously, Karis went first last time, and so Louise got a bit of a read this time. Louise going first. Yeah. It'll be harder to see what the ball does on the green, obviously, but a little bit of head-to-head mental stuff going on.
Careful, he's in pretty much level over feet, so nothing on. Gone straight at the pin. Very good job. Very good here.
Yeah, that's a great shot there by Louise Landgraf.
154 in for Karis. Again, lie is pretty good. Oh, pulled it a little bit left. Probably don't know if it's on the green, but it's a little bit left of the pin where she'd ideally want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been warm.
Okay, so Kira Vincent has the first putt over at trio, but again, as we're saying, undulating, big greens, but undulating. And Louise Landgraf, the only player to make the top tier, and about 10 foot for her birdie putt. And Kira just asking Louise to move her marker there. You can see in the distance that Karis Warby has that rage to deal with. So she's the only player who didn't, or who fell off to the left hand side. So she's got a trickier, I say trickiest of the 3 putts. But first to go is going to be Kira Vincent. very good lag put there by Kira, has to be said, to like, you know, a foot to a foot and a half maybe kick in range, and Karis Warby just asking her to move 3 spots over to Karis's right.
Another kind of uphill putt here, Johnny, for Karis. She's got to kind of level it off and run it on afterwards. They're tricky little ones. As you said, these greens with their undulations are tricky.
She wasn't particularly happy with that, has to be said. She walked after it quickly, but she left herself 3 foot. She's going to be breaking her from her left to right a little bit, but an opportunity here now for Louise Landgraf to
I think
extend
with the
it.
line she got upset with, I think she probably thought she had a better line, and it just kind of teetered off to the side. Louise now with her birdie putt.
Yeah, she's been giving herself plenty of opportunities. And that one slides by to the right hand side. But she'll tap in par. So Karis Warby has the opportunity. She's first to play out of these two here to not lose any ground. I guess is probably the best way of putting it. Staying level at 7 under par through 13 holes. You can hear the mowers in the background. Terrible for a man with hay fever.
And it's just lit for Karis. A wobbly little one. Not sure if you could see the break on camera. It just moved that little bit more than she thought. And a little bit of work here now just to get her bulker back for Kira, but she's now got maybe 2 foot, 2-3 foot for, but this pin seems to just be sitting just on that slant, so causing it's a little bit of trouble. Well, tidied up.
Tidies up her par. Easy peasy. Okay, so very good pars there by Louise Landgraf and by Kira de Vincent, sorry. Karis Warby, Kira St. Vincent, pardon. Karis Warby just dropping a shot there. We're going to be making our way over now to the 14th hole. We'll be continuing our live on-course coverage here of the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship. And you can see there the crowds just following play here. Plenty of crowds out and about following this fantastic caliber of golf. The standard of golf on display has been incredible from across the couple of days that I've been here following coverage. It's been brilliant to watch. use the facilities, and as that's happening, Louise Landgraf is about to tee off. This 14th hole is a par 5, 410 meters. My apologies. Again, this is a nice big uphill climb. It's kind of uphill all the way. Wind is kind of direct off the left. Helps with this dog leg a little bit. That's a great shot there from Louise Landgraf. Yeah, super. Michael, the caliber of golf that has been on display across a couple of days, I think across these 9 holes, has been fantastic.
Yeah, especially with the driver, been really, really impressive.
You're standing a bit close to the player, so I'll tell you what, I'll do the talking. Next is Karis Warby. So, driver in hand also, of course, like we're saying, it's a long par.
Yeah, like I think especially off the tee has been absolutely excellent. Like
very good. So
the girls have
didn't quite
absolutely
get the,
smashed it off the tee.
The distance that Louise did there. So, in the back and forth, head-to-head battle between the two of them off the tee box, you gotta say advantage to Louise. She's going to see what Karis is doing in terms of, is she going to try and go for this uphill par 5 and 2, or what do you think of this hole, Michael? Good crowd.
Yeah, it's a good crowd. It's a tough hole. I think, as you said, the fairway kind of runs uphill, so the players will have an uphill shot. Ball will be a little bit, so they'll have to change exactly. Yes, as I said, it's an interesting hole with the fairway rising up to our hands. So second shot will be quite interesting. And
so Kira Saint Laurent. My apologies. I've been calling her Kira Saint Vincent, Kira de Vincent for the last hole and a half. It's Kira Saint Laurent. My apologies. That's my mistake. So Kira also with driver in hand. Scores as it stands at the moment. Louise Landgraf is 7 under par, 1 under for the day. Karis Warby 1 under for the day as well, 6 under par, 1 shot back. And then Kira Saint Laurent is tied for 3rd place at 1 over par.
Again, another super drive, Johnny. Like
another
these
great
girls
drive.
letting up. They've 3 in the fairway right up the middle.
She basically walked up to that golf ball and then just put the ball on the ground and just hit it. Like the pace of play, the speed of that is great. Love to see it. Love to see that kind of good, fast golf. No messing, great drive, down the middle of the fairway. Game's easy when you play it like that.
Yeah, they're putting a little bit of pressure on that group ahead as well. I think it maybe a little bit of nerves, Johnny, maybe sometimes, but they are really making their 3 drives in the last couple of holes have been fantastic.
And not a whole lot of chat going on between them either. Understandable. This is, back 9 of a championship. They're here to win. They're not here to necessarily have a good time or make a few mates. They want to win this.
Yeah, especially being really so.
So interesting, Michael. What do we have the players have here? Like, is it a layup situation? Are they going to go for it?
Yeah, probably about 200. So, if they can, probably be the hope for them to get in there. Interesting to see, do they go for it or do they lay up, as you said?
It'd be interesting just with bunkers, 3 bunkers short of the green, big climb. Like Kira Saint Laurent, she's not messing around. But then again, realistically, she's got nothing to lose, So she's got 3 wood already in hand. Karis Warby seems to have a wood in hand as well.
Yeah, she is. I think it looks like she's going to be the one to hit first. As you said, the danger's at the front of the screen. So I think trying to fly all the way up the top is probably the better plan. I think 3 wood's going to be the club that the players will use, and try and take the bunkers completely out of play.
You might not have seen it there because the camera is in front of you there, Michael. But referees just came along there and just ushered all the spectators off the fairway. Very politely ushered everyone off the fairway, so they're not standing directly behind the players. Interesting to note that Louise has not taken a club out of her bag yet. She's just absolutely playing this like a match play situation, assessing what her opponent's going to do, how it pays off, and she finds herself in a bunker. Aris Warby, that is. Louise is just going to hit an iron, trust her short game to get up and down for a birdie. It's fascinating to watch in person. Karis is there just checking yardages again, just making sure all of her numbers are ready to go, and as the group in front are walking away, she's already over the ball. Wow, okay.
Just a little short there, Johnny, just around the bunker back to the green. So interesting now to see what Louise is going to go with.
Again, great strike from Kira Saint Laurent. Keep getting it wrong. And that runs up through that little tongue up to the green and onto the front of it. So a little out to the right hand side.
Yeah, I don't think it quite made the green. I have to be trying to get up and down.
Okay, right. So interesting. She's best position off the tee. Maybe you could make the argument she was blocked out by the tree on the right hand side of the fairway there, but she was last to play and maybe blocked it out to that greenside bunker.
Yeah, I think maybe just a little bit right of that. I don't think she actually wish she went into the tree. But again, she's got a little bit wide left as well. She looks kind of left of the green, so she'll have a chip as well. So again, we're still quite even here, just different chips. Yes, boss. No, maybe they were just annoying everyone. Yeah.
Trickled back down to the fringe of the green. So she'll be chipping that. And Louise has carried no, she hasn't carried the bunker, so her ball's just there at the front of the bunker. Easy enough bunker shot for a player of her calibre. Not a huge amount of green to work with, but again, she's going to be third to play, so she'll get to see what Karis does with her chip shot first.
Not really bad. And spin.
A foot and a half, 2 foot, but it's going to be Louise Landgraf next to play. She didn't look overly enamoured with that, but a bit nicely on her second bounce. She's got about 5 foot for her birdie putt. Next to play, Ciara St. Laurent. She's been a fan favourite for the day. Super lag putt there by Ciara St. Laurent. And as you can hear from the applause around me, fans loved it as well. It's going to be so Louise Landgraf first to play for her birdie attempt. So this one should fall from her right to left. It's going to be a fast enough putt, a little bit downhill. And the birdie putt drops. Louise Landgraf now moves to 8 under par. She has a temporarily 2-shot lead over Caris Warby of Newport Links in Wales. But Caris with her own birdie attempt. It's a tricky putt and it slides by. So frustrating opportunity gone there for Caris Warby, you have to say. So she remains at 6 under par, now 2 shots behind Louise Landgraf. Disappointing, but when it comes to talking about the caliber of golf, birdies have won holes for the majority of the holes, specifically the holes we've been covering. So Ciara St. Vincent's birdie attempt just slides by as well, so she makes par. Disappointing after a great lag putt. So Louise Landgraf now with a 2-shot lead over Caris Warby as they move on to onto the next hole, onto this 15th hole. The 15th hole is another par 4, 304 meters from their tee box. So Caris Warby first to play here, playing out a turn, which is interesting. How was that, Michael?
Yeah, actually, was going to along just after he a little bit right. There's a great angle into the green.
Now is Louise Landgraf the leader, 2 shots ahead at 8 under par. Really on this at the moment. Like, she just seems pretty unflappable, playing very, very solid golf. Fantastic up and down, you have to say, in the last hole. Ciara St. Laurent, disappointing to miss the birdie putt. How will she react? Super. So we're going to take a quick ad break and we'll be back with live action after this.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super long battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs. It's grand. Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
It's when you buy online at AIG.ie. It's got to be AIG.
coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
Now, welcome back to our live on-course coverage. Just a reminder that all of the Bogeymen's live coverage is brought to you by AIG. They're a proud partner of Golf in Ireland and Irish Golf for over 25 years. They've been a partner of ours for 25 years. And Golf Ireland members can actually get an additional 10% off their car and home insurance if you go to aig.ie. Karis Warby there punching out, clips the trees, but the ball's running up. What a shot! That was a brilliant golf shot. Like very, very good golf shot. Pin high now. Probably has about 15-20 foot for her birdie attempt, but a great shot. What's Louise going to do? She definitely has the upper hand. Very smooth swing going straight at the flag. Does it have the legs? It does. That has got to be a little disheartening for Karis Warby. You hit a great response, you hit good recovery shot, and just have Karis Warby just stitching one to, well, that's like 5 foot. Brilliant shot. Ciara St. Laurent attacking this flag as well, just between Karis's golf ball and the flag. A good shot. Very steady golf here by Ciara St. Laurent. She's been playing great. Obviously, that birdie putt sliding by is a little disappointing, but in this head-to-head now between Louise Landgraf and Karis Warby, you got to say advantages is pretty significantly with Louise. 2 shots ahead, a very good opportunity to get to 9 under par, and Karis has, although she had a fantastic recovery shot there, she's got an outside, very tough putt, you have to say, for her birdie. It's going to be downhill, breaking right to left. Michael, what are you seeing there, your ground level?
Right, left. Yeah, she's going to be putting back into the wind here. Not that that's going to make a huge difference at this speed, but just a little, I can just put you off balance a little bit. She's just taking that slope. Great putt there, fantastic putt there by Karis Warby. Even though Louise Landgraf does have the opportunity to get to 9 under par, Karis is not giving these holes away. She's not making it easy on her. par for
You can see Karis Warby, well, you might be able to see Karis Warby just watching on from a couple of feet off the green. As that putt slides by, a let off there has to be said for Karis Warby. Okay, and she taps in there. About 370 meters for these players here. So this group here is actually getting called down to play. I don't think they've actually recognized that they have been called down to play. Ah, there we go. So Karis Warby, first to play. Driver in hand. Again, 6 under par. And Louise Landgraf, 2-shot lead. Should be a little disappointed not to have made that birdie on the last. But also going driver in hand. It's a severe enough dogleg to the right. It's taking a very aggressive line. Yeah, sting where you
They're going to cut the corner, dogleg right, but you can go over the trees, which the three of them did do. So right now it's how much you stay on the line and give them a shot in. Really, really nice dogleg right. Loads of kind of mature trees around it. Really, really nice golf hole.
The sun's clear, like the heat, it's heated up now, go a bit, clouds have parted, a lot of blue skies. Perfect championship weather, and it looks like Louise Landgraf, who took a very aggressive line, it could be in brilliant position. I thought potentially a little aggressive, but seems to be in great spot there. You can see one golf ball middle of the fairway, left hand side, short of the path.
But it seems that all players have avoided those and hit some brilliant drives. I'm not sure if it's easy to see on the stream, but the quality of the tee shots with driver in hand for these players has been incredible. I don't think we've had a stream where we've had this consistency and standard of driving at all. It's been a real joy to watch.
Big time. We've had a lot of fairways in regulation, and it's just making again the scoring much lower, and it means that the winning of a hole has to be done really with birdies.
Par 5 like we were on the last one. Probably about 220 for Karis into this pin, so probably her 3 wood gives her that kind of distance again in. Kira maybe around the same distance, but the lies are pretty good for the two of them. Louise has just gone into the second, the rough, probably 105 yards in. A little bit harder to go with a 3 wood in for that.
She's in the rough, like you can see a good bit of the golf ball, at least from where we're standing back here. Again, interesting. We spoke about it in every hole now. The little back and forth, or like the tug of war between the two players off the tee. The few holes that Karis has been hitting her approach out into the green first, Louise has won those holes, and then the opposite. And when Karis has been hitting second in, like you're learning so much from your opponent. It also helps that you're closer to the hole and closer to the green. But on a hole like this, where you're talking about, maybe 3, 4, 5 yards at a stretch difference between the two of them, hitting into the wind. Like when we came around that dog leg, you really got hit by the severity of the wind. So when they're both this far away from the green, hitting into the wind, whoever hits first is really kind of showing their cards a lot more. Interesting
in this one, the last par 5 we had when the 3 of them both hit 3 woods, it was hill. This is a lot more flat. Even the entrance to the base of the green is flat. If you could, I'm just thinking that two of the players have going to try to drop this short and put it up the green, instead of trying to fly all the way there. Would be interesting. Maybe a 3 iron, 4 iron in, and she looks to be playing first here. So pin in the not too far back on the green. So interesting to see where she lands this.
You might see there's a bunker to the left hand side of the green. That first bunker is about 50 yards short actually, so the bailout for this green, if you're attacking it, is short left. Cara's gone right of it, tries to hit a draw in there, just comes up short. It looks like that's in the greenside bunker. Might just be short of that greenside bunker, but definitely didn't carry all the way there. She wasn't too thrilled with that. Kyria Saint Laurent with a hybrid in hand. Beautiful strike, and that's it. That's the miss if you're going to have one. Short left of the green. That's fine. She'll be chipping up the green. And last to play now, Louise Landgraf.
She's a little rough. The ball contact with, so again trying.
Yeah, well, a nice low trajectory, trying to run it up there, and again she misses in the right spot. Just short left of the green, chipping up the green there toward the flag. Yeah, great stuff. Really, really good. Just an update for you at home. Scores in the doors as we are on the 16th hole now at the moment. Louise Landgraf maintains her 2-shot lead. She is 8 under par for the championship, 2 under par total. She is 2 shots ahead, as I mentioned, of Caris Warby of Newport Links in Wales, who is 1 under par for the day, 6 under par for the championship. Kyria Saint Laurent, the third member of this group, is also in solo third for the championship, 3 over par for the day, so admittedly a tough day in comparison to her 2 playing partners, but 1 over par for the championship. Anna Dawson is the best of the Irish. She is 2 under par for the day, sitting at 2 over par for the championship in 4th place on her own. Tied for 5th is shared between Hannah Lee McNamara of Royal Portrush Golf Club. They're having a little bit of a championship in that club later on this year. She is tied alongside Lily Ritier of Golf Club de Toulouse at 3 over par. Hannah Lee McNamara is even par for her round. Lily Ritier 4 over par for her day, 3 over par for the championship. Then there's a smattering at 7 under par, Aideen Walsh, Olivia Costello, Carolyn Fuller of the United States. And tied for 10th, rounding out your top 10, Marina Joyce Moreno and Rebecca Gardner, both of whom are 6 over par for the championship. Looks like she'll be first to play. Came up just short of that greenside bunker, that last bunker. So not a huge amount of green to work with, and on the downslope. So tricky enough shot. Everything's going to make the ball want to roll away from her. Sensible play and a great shot. Really, really good. Crowd appreciated that. Very, very nice. So Caris Warby is going to have that for her birdie. Kira Saint Laurent hitting a little bump and run, and it's just running very nice. Louise Landgraf just ran out to the we'll call it the collar on the left hand side of the green. Putter in hand. It looks like it'll be a slow enough putt at the start, and then it'll get very fast about halfway. Gonna run away from her, fall from her left to right. She'll get fast now. Yeah, very good putt. So all three players with a couple of feet between them for their birdie looks. And it looks like Karis Warby is going to be the first to play. Her putt should fall from her right to left. If there's a time to make a move for Karis Warby, it is now. Running out of holes realistically, 2 shots down. And it just stays out to the right hand side. I thought that was going to fall down to her left. And it's not a drop shot, it's a par, but realistically at this stage probably feels like one par and a par 5 like that. She had a good look there making that. That one's got to hurt, especially Louise is going to be the last to play here. She's closest to the hole. She'll have seen 2 putts, albeit not quite the same line as hers. Not her same line as hers at all, actually. She's at about 90 degrees to these putts. But she won't be filled with confidence seeing 2 putts slide by on the left hand side of the hole. So the risk with that, I guess, is that you play less break into it and then potentially miss the hole on the low side. But she's been absolutely clutch for the entire day with these putts. You got to think that she's going to be together enough to block those out of her mind. Just look at the putt in front of her. That being said, she is 16. She's a very competent golfer for 16. And she's had a great season so far as well. She might add the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship title to that haul. Yeah. So we're going to take a quick ad break. We'll be back to you on live coverage. The second to last group are actually only now just teeing off on the 17th hole. So we'll be back to you after this.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super long battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs. It's grand. Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
And you can see there that there are two players in the hunt sitting on the same bench, but back to back in every sense. They're really not paying much competition or pay attention to one another. Interesting, fascinating to watch, and very, very fun to watch. Louise Landgraf there, 3-shot lead at 9 under par over Cara Swarby of Newport Links in Wales. Just a reminder that all the Bogeyman live golf coverage from these amateur championships and championships throughout the year is brought to you in partnership with AIG. AIG have been a supporter of Golf in Ireland and Golf Ireland for over 25 years, and Golf Ireland members can actually get an additional 10% off of your car and home insurance when you go and visit aig.ie. It's a great initiative. I have it. It's a great way to save 10% on your car insurance. And I highly encourage everyone to go and log into aig.ie. Thank you to them for helping us bring this coverage to life. It's always a learning curve, and we're always adding new elements to it. As you can see, we have 2 roving cameras today. Our production crew is now up to 7. When we first started doing this, there was 2 of us. There was 2 of us doing this. So with the support of AIG and the support of you guys who watch and subscribe to our YouTube channel, it means that we can expand the crew and make the audio better and work on different things to really make your watching experience of amateur golf in Ireland the best that it possibly can be, without it costing hundreds of thousands. For context, in case anyone is interested, the production number of cameras that were at the amateur championship last week that Gavin Tiernan, Irish golfer, came runner-up in, they had 12 cameras at that for that final day broadcast. So we're just, we're 1/6 of that right now. We'll get there. We'll get there. Michael, I see you smirking like, we'll get there.
I don't know.
Give it time. We'll be there. But that's just our long-winded and not particularly articulate way to say thank you to AIG for trusting us and supporting all of the broadcasting endeavours that we have to bring amateur golf in Ireland and international amateur golf to as many people as possible. We're just play is just slowed up a little bit here. So listen, what we'll do is we'll take another ad break. Otherwise, you're just listening to us not really say anything. So we'll be back to you after this commercial break.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super low battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs. It's grand. Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
And so Rebecca Gardner is there on the 18th green, and she's just finishing out. You can see there, though, our players are still on the bench. Kira St. Laurent creating the physical and metaphorical barrier between Karis and Louise. I think now at this point it's 3-shot lead for Louise Landgraf. 2 holes to play. She's been very solid. It's probably a bit of a procession now at this point, but the 3 of them have been chatting away now. They've had a chance to kind of relax a little bit. I think everyone kind of knows this is Louise's to lose. And yeah, a little bit more chat.
Last match need to be make things very interesting. Part 3 here, very apart. You've got about 150 yards. Even away from the play, sharp right this. But that
yeah, so interesting. They're still continuing to play in this order. Karis Warby first to play, probably 9-iron.
Needs a little bit more. Looks good. Then, yeah, shot kind of middle of the green. Just giving herself a pull.
Yeah, it's a good safe shot there by Karis Warby. She have a long birdie putt though. She's trying to force the issue or force Louise to make an error. Probably not the way to go about it realistically. We were watching Keegan Bradley there on 18 yesterday. He stepped up, hit the big shot, made Tommy Fleetwood make a mistake. Karis probably needs to have done that now in this last hole. Or second last hole.
Very solid shot there, like.
And Kira St. Laurent, again, very clear fan favourite here. Hitting a great shot, middle of the green.
So lead. Louise steps up. Again, onto the dance floor. Green. No easy putt for a bird, but you play it on the green.
So Karis Warby first to play. So Karis Warby here stepping up over it. Very long putt, right to left break. Ball's away. It's going to come up just low and roll by 5, 6, 8. That's rolled on a lot. Okay. It's rolled on a lot. If you're looking at any kind of hope of saving a championship, or stealing the championship, that might have just slipped away with that putt. Realistically, it's rolled on a lot. Louise Landgraf getting ready for her putt. I mean, at this point, she knows what she has to do. Cozy it up, make her par. She's got the cushion that if she even bogeys this hole, I would say the chances are Karis is going to do the same. And that putt just comes up a little shy. Completely understandable after what she just saw there from Karis and that ball rolling on a good few feet. Kira St. Laurent now with her birdie attempt. So best of the 3 tee shots, but again, it's another long range effort. It's a tough pin to get at. You can see how there's a tricky pin there, especially with this wind's gusting from right to left. So the safe play was what all 3 players did: middle of the green, right hand side of the green, give themselves long putts. The par threes this week have been playing very, very tough. Haven't been playing overly long, nothing kind of above like the 140 range, but the par threes are a real strength and a real defense of this golf course, and it's fantastic to see. It's really challenged a lot of the players. Karis Warby with her par attempt, I know that just misses on the low side. So she drops a shot. She is now back to 5 under par for the time being. Louise Landgraf with a 4-shot lead. I have to say that's probably the championship tied up for Louise, unless something diabolical happens over the next 3 golf swings. But Louise Landgraf with this to tidy up for par, remain at 9 under par for the championship, 3 under par for the day. And she tidies up 9 under par, a super 2 putt there from Louise Landgraf. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be back on the 18th hole of the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship here at Headfort Golf Club.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super long battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs. It's grand. Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
When you buy online at AIG.ie, it's got to be AIG.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
Okay, sorry about that. Trees. We were running from the 17th tee box, 17th green to the 18th tee box, and again a little bit of crowd control. We had to get around a few people and got through a few trees. So apologies for the dropout there during the ad break, but we are back and we're on the 18th tee box here. Kira Saint Laurent teeing off. And now Louise Landgraf, your leader of the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship. 9 under par through 17 holes. 9 under par through her championship. 3 under par for the day. 4-shot lead over Karis Warby, who a couple of putts just didn't drop her way. 2 on the par 5. 2 on the par 5s. And then that par attempt there on 17 just didn't quite work out for her. So a 4-shot lead there as Louise Landgraf's tee shot sails down toward the final green. Comfortable now. She must feel very comfortable. The 16-year-old with the opportunity to win her first championship in Ireland. It's her first time playing in Ireland. And that's a seriously good return. Played one, winning one. I won't say won one just yet because that would be a bit premature, but doing fantastically. Louise, as she's making her way down 18.
You know, tough tee shot on the 18, especially when the bunker. Pretty good drives. I think we've avoided all bunkers.
No, unfortunately, I have the high ground here now. Michael, I've run ahead of you. It looks like Karis Warby has just run into this bunker on the left-hand side. And that's really kind of sums up her day, doesn't it, really? It's fine. Like, it's a small bunker. It's a low face. She'll get a club on it, no bother. We're talking, like, you know, the only way that she won't get there is if she catches it heavy, you know. It's fine. It's sitting fine.
Hybrid to get it in.
It's going to be Kira St. Laurent first to play, but as you can see, we're just waiting on the group in front to finish up. Olivia Costello, Rebecca Gardner, and Lydia Ritier finishing out. I'll give you an update on scores across the championship so far. So, obviously, Louise Landgraf 9 under par, Karis Warby second place at 5 under par, Kira St. Laurent in third place at 1 over par. That is obviously who we've been following. In fourth place, finished the day at 2 under par, 2 over par for the championship, Anna Dawson of Tramore Golf Club. She's best of the Irish as it stands right now. In fifth place, Hannah Lee McNamara of Royal Portrush finished her day 1 over par, her championship for 4 over par. Aideen Walsh and Olivia Costello are tied for sixth. Aideen Walsh finished her day at 2 under par, 5 over par total. Olivia Costello obviously is just up ahead of us on the 18th green. She's 3 over par for the day, and that is 5 over par for the championship. Lily Ritier also in that group on the 18th green, 6 over par for the day. Tough day for her, has to be said. 5 over par for the championship. Just for a little bit of context as to how good Louise Landgraf has been playing, she has tied for the lowest round of today at 3 under par. Also 3 under par for the day, Emma O'Driscoll moving 9 spots up to 13th place to finish her championship at 8 over par, 3 under for the day. Very good golf from a friend of the pod, Emma O'Driscoll. We always talk about possibly one of the coolest people we know, Emma O'Driscoll. That rounds out your top 10 really, and then obviously the honourable mention to Emma. Rebecca Gardner again, also a tough day. She was even par going into today. She's just finishing up there on the 18th green, but she was 7 over par through 7 holes and 7 over par for her championship. But players are making way, clearing the green, and our final group approaches. First to play is Kira St. Laurent.
Just left at a pin, Johnny. Yeah, plus a strong wind into her as well. Like we were saying at the very start of this broadcast, the pin is tucked on that top third tier at the back of this green. Yeah, that's the golf shot of a championship winner right there, isn't it? Super shot. I mean, Louise Landgraf, a fantastic 18 holes. Obviously, from the 9-hole coverage that we've brought to you today, it's been from her. She's been very composed all day. She's hit the any time that she dropped a shot, which I think the only time she did drop was on the par 3 11th hole for our coverage anyway. She dropped a shot on one, and then the only other drop shot she had was on the par 3 11th hole, but then she bounced back after that. So her scoring on the back nine has been birdie on 10, bogey on 11, par on 12, par on 13, birdie on 14, par on 15, birdie on 16, par on 17. She has been incredibly composed as she is really taken a hold of this championship. Obviously had a one-shot lead going into today and has really just taken that further and further.
Mike's. It's been a blustery day, blustery conditions. It hasn't been easy conditions whatsoever. We got away with the rain today, which has been very fortunate. Yesterday, a couple of very heavy showers throughout the day, but today's it's been very, very tidy. Ciara St. Laurent, has to be said, brilliant second shot in, pin high, left hand side of the green. She's up on that top tier. Louise Landgraf just playing to the middle of the green, just snuck up that hill, so she's just made it onto that top tier. Karis Warby with a tough chip shot here. So again, a tough chip shot. Everything was gone away from her. Played it very nice. Rolls on to about 5-ish foot beyond the green. Beyond the flag, my apologies. But very good. Very, very good chip. It just hasn't seemed to be her day. A couple of missed putts on the par 5s. The par 3. 17th, just dropping a shot there, and even the bogey that she made on the 10th hole, I'm sure are all shots and holes that she'll rue, but when it comes up against someone playing as Louise Landgraf is today, I don't really think there's a lot you can do. You got to bring your best, and things just didn't necessarily fall Karis Warby's way. Now, to finish at 10 under par, Louise Landgraf, and to win the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship. That one just slides by. Hopefully she gives herself the moment to mark it, and yeah, she does the right thing. She marks the ball, steps away, just to give herself a minute to compose herself and enjoy winning her first championship in Ireland.
Sportsman. Very nice putt there by Ciara St. Laurent. She will probably tap that one in, get out of the way. And she does indeed, and so that is a 3 over par day for Ciara St. Laurent. Not her day, but she finishes at 1 over par for the championship. And a nice up and down there from Karis Warby, who clears the stage for Louise Landgraf to claim her first championship in Ireland, the Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship. And there it is. Louise Landgraf is the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Champion here at Headfort Golf Club. A final round of 3 under par to finish 9 under par for her championship. It's her first time playing in Ireland. She's played one, she's won one. The 16-year-old is the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Champion. And she's just going to make her way back up to scoring. She'll go through the administration. A couple of handshakes with dignitaries from Headfort Golf Club and from Golf Ireland. And then she will get on to award the trophy presentation.
So it's a bit of a walk back up to the clubhouse here at Headfort Golf Club. So as the champion Louise Landgraf makes her way back up to the clubhouse and gets through the score signing, we will take a quick ad break, and then hopefully we'll be able to have a few words with the champion after that.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super low battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs. It's grand. Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
It's got to be AIG.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance. Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
If you call a car Grandland, you make it grand. You design an electric logo. Grand. A super low battery range. Grand. And 50,000 intelligent LEDs. It's grand. Sure is.
New Opel Grandland. Available in hybrid and electric. Go grand.
When you buy online at AIG.ie. It's got to be AIG.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship on the Bogeymen is brought to you by AIG Insurance.
Okay, work.
So here we are next to the Clary Redden Philomena Trophy. Very nice. The Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship has come to a conclusion. Louise Landgraf, very impressive display. 16 years of age, first time playing in Ireland. Win one, play one, win one. Not bad.
Yeah, she's so steady from the get-go. And every time there's a little pressure on her, she was able to come back with a birdie or something really close par. Yeah,
big time. 2 bogeys throughout the entire round in the first hole, and on the 10th hole, she still shoots the tide for the lowest round of the day, 3 under par. From when our coverage began on 10, she was just really solid, really consistent. Obviously, par on 11, the par 3. So she made her par on birdie on 10, gets her to 8 under par, drops the shot on 11, and then bounces back with a birdie on 12. Pars on 12, 13, birdie on 14, birdie on 16. Makes a very good par on 17, and then 18 she's very smooth. It was just boringly impressive.
Yeah, it was. Her driving, as we said, the best driving of tee shots that we've seen in our season, and she long sit down, and the girls ended up chatting for so long. And that can be nerving when you've got a lead and you know you're going to hit a shot, especially over water then. But she that's called for. Rarely put herself in a lot of trouble.
No.
And you know, if you're watching her, you would think she's a 16-year-old playing her first tournament in Ireland.
No,
I know she's experienced for a 16-year-old. She's due to Ireland Cup and that sort of thing. But so impressive, and so steady the whole way around.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the couple of times when, because I think she maybe missed 3 fairways throughout the 9 holes that we were with them. She didn't put a foot wrong, especially on 16. She was on the fairway, makes her 2-putt for the birdie on the par 5. But then the hole before that, approach shot comes up, just blocks it out a little bit to the right hand side, ends up in the front of that bunker, gives herself an opportunity to get up and down for par. Great up and down for par. And like the bunker shot, I thought maybe it was probably a little bit on the thin side, but second bounce, checked up, stops immediately, leaves herself a slippery downhill right to left putt, drains it centre of the cup. Very impressive.
Yeah, and even down 18, she hits a brilliant drive straight in the middle. Okay, she knew 3-shot lead, but 3-shot lead can evaporate quickly. It won't straight with water all the way down there. So, you know, also she had lead to start, she lost it in the front line, got it back in, and she was just so solid all the way through. Very impressive.
Yep. And then I guess we got to talk about Karis Warby coming in second. Faltered a little bit, finished the day at even par. A case of what could have been for her, really.
Extremely solid, and probably still reaching especially on that par 5. I think that was on a slip by where she had a chance. Just so close. She knew she had to kind of try to really push the envelope a little. Probably when she had pressed, that was probably it. And such a solid excellent thought. Very impressive. And still only in college. She's only graduate next year from the States. And again, phenomenal golfer, and nearly
didn't really put a foot wrong either. I think that's the tough side of it. She played very well. A couple of putts really slipped by on the par 5s in particular. You got to say there were birdie opportunities that became pars, and really that feels like a drop shot when your competitor, your playing partner, is just making everything. And it's like even how was it? 15, when she was blocked out in a little bit on the right hand side, hits that shot, just slaps 1 or 2 leaves, runs up the green, really good. So she does all the really good recovery shots to put herself butt into positions. But just comes up a little short.
Really after that, I mean, a phenomenal and great. Yeah.
Great shot making. It just becomes tough when the person you're playing against is in the middle of the fairway and then stitches it to 4 or 5 foot after you hit a great recovery shot. You're like, I'm playing unbelievable here, and what am I coming up against? We're just watching Louise Landgraf do a couple of interviews real quick with Golf Ireland, but we'll have her momentarily now, so we're just going to buy a few moments. We've got a couple of people watching us, which is eerie. When you're running around the golf course, you don't have a chance to see the people asking you, like, what are you lads doing?
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, but I think the standard golf in that final group is, even we're looking at shots were phenomenal.
Kirsten Laurent was fantastic.
Maybe she just didn't. And if she had played like that all the way around, she would have the mix as well.
And she was very firmly a fan favourite around the group.
Very firm.
Nice to see, particularly when I mean, not to say it was a 2-horse race, but it kind of was. It's 2 where we're running away with it. And she so 3 over par for the day, so it wasn't necessarily her day, but played some fantastic golf, and a couple of birdie putts slipped by that, maybe an over par final round, not what you wanted at the end of a championship, but some good golf from her as well.
What do you think about the golf course as we had that back nine kind of coming as a championship course with the pre-game kind of chat with June architects made this course after that run?
Yeah, I thought the golf course was fantastic. The conditioning of the greens, they looked like they were playing pretty fast, but not so fast that, because obviously we're talking about how undulating these greens are. They have big banks and big swells on them that if the greens get very fast, you can start making people look very silly. I don't think that was the case at all. I think they were running very, very, very nice. Fairways were lush. But again, like it's a championship golf course. It was playing tough, and there you go. She's just finished her first interview there with Golf Ireland, and then I think she'll be over with us in just a moment. The championship and the toughness of championship golf has really come to the fore now. Particularly when the conditions kicked up, it made it very tough. Yeah. And I think, but that's the mark of a good championship test, is like it doesn't need to be like 60-70 mile per hour winds or horizontal rain. Just give it some wind, and like it's windy, it's breezy, but it's not. We're not talking gale force winds here. This is just a strong wind, and that really makes the golf course show its teeth. So. Best of the Irish, I think we might run through really quick. Yeah. I think Anna Dawson, she finished 2 under par. So, like we're saying, best of the Irish, she finished in 2 over par for the championship, 2 under today, 4th position on her own. Hannah Lee McNamara is in 5th place, 4 over par. Aideen Walsh in the 6th place, 5 over par, 2 under par for her day. So it really is a case that, and then Marina Joyce Moreno in tied for 7th alongside Olivia Costello, Carolyn Fuller, Lily Rissier, Molly O'Hara, Rebecca Gardner finishing out the top 11, Emma Driscoll, and then after that a bunch of Irish. And I think that just shows like 2 players under par for the entire championship. Yeah. Kind of like a US Open vibes here.
Yeah, no, probably is that tough in there, especially because we spoke about the rain and the wind last day. Today the sun came out and it was kind of a nice scoring. But just still jumped a good bit with a good conditions. Good.
Yeah. We had everything, really, didn't we? We had the wind, we had a bit of blue skies coming through, thankfully no rain, but we are absolutely just buying time here until Louise just finishes one other interview and then comes over, and we'll chat to her for 2 minutes and then get her thoughts. Exactly, yeah. I don't think we'll be allowed to do that. I think some very, very important people would be pretty angry if we were like, here, take your trophy.
There'll be definitely digging tricks coming in.
Of course. No, we'll just have a quick word with her as she's just finishing up one more interview. Next on the schedule for us is worth saying is another new golf course, but a very special championship. We are going to be down in Lahinch for the South of Ireland Amateur Championship at the very end of July. It's going to be good fun. Looking forward to that.
It's a very special course. I like it's kind of natural Irish golf as well. I think it has that little bit of a shine to it. And obviously, that tournament is going to be really exciting, and I think looking at all the amateur stars in Ireland.
Yes. Okay. So I think Louise is going to make her way over to us. I'll tell you what. Dar from Golf Ireland is going to bring her over here. Yeah. I think we're going to grab her. I'll be back in one.
So there's a big to get to be, I think, one of the ones Johnny took about being and okay, I think we're going to move across here to do this.
This year, the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Champion. You must be delighted.
Yeah, it's the first time playing it in Ireland, so it's definitely like to win the first time. It's special, and obviously the course is playing really nicely, so I'm really happy with this one.
And proper championship conditions. You had the wind and everything to deal with today.
Yeah.
How'd you handle it?
It was definitely rough out there. Obviously, last week in the front nine, so Carrie's definitely kept me on my toes, but she did amazing, and I just try to manage my game as best as possible. Obviously trying to adapt to the wind as well was definitely tough, but I just try to pick the right shots to play.
And then coming down the stretch, you extended your lead after losing it just there in the front nine. Was there anything you were saying to yourself just to retain that lead or regain that lead and then just expand on it going into the final stretch?
I think I just try to play my own game, obviously follow my own game plan. Yeah, I played really good out there, and I just try to say keep calm and stay composed as much as possible.
Listen, congratulations, enjoy the celebrations, and
thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you, you too. Thank you.
So there we have it. Louise Landgraf is our 2025 Irish Women's Amateur.
Coverage of the 2025 Flogas Irish Women's Amateur Open Championship